This is WPTV.
Welcome back to this. The William Patterson softball and baseball team are well into conference play and are looking to climb the NJAC. Here to break everything down on the diamond, we have Jimmy, Anthony, Andrew, and Steve, our favorite B block. Gentlemen, the Pioneers will be heading down to Stockton tomorrow. Try to get a big NJAC matchup. You know, it's going to be big for them, especially with playoff time coming. Andrew, take us through this game.
Yeah, Pioneers heading down to Stockton. We'll take a look at the stats to compare these two teams. We've seen William Patterson get off to a 14-15 record this year compared to Stockton's 18-14. Both around the same in the NJAC, 4-8 for William Patterson, 5-7 for the Ospreys. Batting average, we're batting a little under 300. You know, Stockton's a little over 300, and then ERAs, you know, we're separated by about 1. We have a 3.63 compared to their 4.63. Errors have been a huge issue for both of our teams, both with 51 on the season. Not what you want to see. But, you know, tomorrow, this is a must-sweep doubleheader tomorrow. We're sitting at 6 in the NJAC right now. We're tied with Rutgers Newark. We're a game behind Stockton. A sweep would put us ahead. The lineup, it's coming to life a little bit over the last few weeks, but I think, you know now it's time to strike for the Pioneers.
Jimmy?
I think it's quite simple. You got to score runs. The Pioneers are 10-0 when scoring 6 or more runs. The recipe is pretty simple. We wasted a lot of Jalen Miller starts this season, not scoring enough runs. You know, Steve and I were on the call this past week against TCNJ. Jalen Miller went well into the game. The Pioneers couldn't get it done in the scoring column in the end. They score runs, they win games. Quite simple.
Steve?
Yeah, and Samory, we pointed this out when we called the game right after that TCNJ game. The Pioneers have only won a game one time after trailing in the first inning. And if you're going up against a team like Stockton that's right above you, you play Rutgers Newark, who's breathing right down your neck right now at 4-8. You got to go out there and sweep, like Andrew said, because you got to build that gap before you go down and play Kane.
Anthony closes out.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, the Pioneers won their last NJAC game. They came back down from 4-0 against Montclair State, a big win for them. Stockton, meanwhile, they beat number 16 Rowan 2-0 in their last NJAC game. So this is going to be an interesting matchup for both sides. Something to keep an eye on. Really, no one on the Pioneers pitching staff has really faced Stockton before. The only one that has faced Stockton is Giovanna Mulatto. She threw 1 2/3 perfect innings last year. But Corio has barely faced them. Miller and Acker, obviously, have never faced them because they're both freshmen. And Brancaccio has never faced them either. So that's going to be an interesting matchup for the Pioneers.
Yeah, and I want to see how the pitching staff does. As Andrew alluded to, we have a 3.63 ERA, which I think is pretty good so far. But from pitching to hitting, and Steve, since we're seniors, I'll throw this one to you. 2 seniors on the Pioneer softball team who is doing amazing for them. Anna Nunziato, and we have Carly McDaniel. If you had to choose between the two, who would you take?
Oh, well, we're going to look at the numbers first before I tell you my decision here. You have Anna Nunziato batting .378 on the year, Carly McDaniel batting .303. OPS for Anna Nunziato, 1.034. OPS for Carly McDaniel, .883. 2 home runs for Nunziato, 4 home runs for Carly McDaniel. That's third in the NJAC right now. 13 RBIs for Nunziato, 17 of them for McDaniel, 19 runs scored for Nunziato, and 18 of them for McDaniel. And you know, Samory, I pride myself on consistency. I picked Anna Nunziato in the beginning of the year to make an impact. I'm going to cut the mozzarella, and I'm going to pick the Nunes, Anna Nunziato.
Jimmy, who you got?
I wasn't expecting to cut the mozzarella reference.
Me either.
That's one of their better chances in the dugout. I have to give them credit for that one. But, you know, I'm going to split it up. I'm going to go with Carly McDaniel, play elite defense out in left field. We saw her play third base this past weekend. She has 4 home runs in the season, absolutely killing the power game. And she doesn't strike out that much either. Guys struck out less than Anna. Anna had to take on a new role as a leadoff hitter, so you got to give her a lot of credit for that. But Carly McDaniel, all-around season, I think I'll take her.
Andrew?
I'm going to go with Steve, man. I'm going to go with Anna Nunziato. Not to discredit Carly at all. She's having a phenomenal season. I mean, she's just been crushing it all year. But the Nunes, she's been very consistent all year. You know, she's leading the team in OPS and hits, runs scored, triples. I mean, she's doing great things all around. You know, she's been very consistent. I got to go with the Nunes.
Anthony?
I like home runs.
Oh, we know
and
this.
Carly McDaniel has 4 of them, and she leads the Pioneers. Give me Carly McDaniel every day of the week, baby. 4 home runs on the year. Get this, too. Pioneers, when Carly McDaniel homers, they're 3-1. So when she hits a home run, the team rallies around her, the team wins. She is one of the life forces on that team. I'm not saying Nunziato isn't either, because she definitely is. But I like the power. I'm a big fan of what McDaniel does in the outfield. Give me her.
You're playing the drums there. Scare me for a second.
Taking up a career in it.
Speaking of raking, if we move from the softball team to the baseball team has been absolutely on fire the past 7 games. Anthony, we'll throw it to you. We talked about it. You got to see their lineup from 1 to 9, and they've been doing it so far for these past 7 games, Anthony.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Pioneers' offense here so far. They've actually been really, really solid. You see right here, they've scored 75 runs. They pick up 95 hits, 29 extra base hits. They've allowed 32 runs, and they've stolen 9 bags. The Pioneers have an absolutely dominant 1 through 5 combined OPS of 1.047. That mainly comes up through Weiss, Carter, Lombardo, Yellen, and Vinnie Martin. And all those guys are killing it. But some guy that I've been a really big fan of, and that's Jake Lutz. He was 3 for 3 in yesterday's game against Montclair State with 2 walks. He got on base all 5 times going to the plate. His offense has really picked up. He has 4 home runs this year. He is going to be a staple in that Pioneer lineup.
Andrew?
Yeah, man, this lineup has been absolutely crushing it. They're getting going at the perfect time. The NJAC playoffs are coming right up. You know, against Stockton, 26 runs against Stockton. Against Rutgers Newark, 25 runs. You know, we saw Dan Carter. He's been killing it recently. He had 5 hits against Stockton. If these guys keep going and they stay going, they're going to be a force in the NJAC.
Before we move on, me and Steve called, well, actually it was me and you, we called the game 2 grand slams in 1 inning. I just had to say that because we were off last week, and we didn't have the chance to say that. I've never seen that a day in my life. But Jimmy.
I just want to emphasize something special. That wasn't their season stats. That was the last 7 games, guys. They put up double digits runs all the time. And the success that they have is truly coming off from when they can hit with runners in scoring position. You know, we saw them struggle against that yesterday at Montclair State. But when they do that, you see them 21-10 record on the season. When they get their clutch hits late in games, that is what makes them so dominant.
Steve?
Yeah, like you said, Anthony, 1 through 5 is dominant. Probably one of the best top 5 lineups in the NJAC. At a minimum, we saw yesterday, bases loaded, Steve Yellen comes up. Well, I'm not going to walk him. I got Dan Carter right behind him. The Pioneers hit the cover off the ball. Coach Lauderhand said in the beginning of the year they're not going to have a problem. They haven't, and we see that all the time.
And as we alluded to, played Montclair yesterday, didn't come away with the win. Do play them again today in Montclair, Jimmy. So what are your thoughts on the Pioneers matchup yesterday, and what do you think that they could do today to try to change that?
You know, they took a tough loss yesterday. We're going to take a little quick breakdown of the stats of yesterday's game against the Montclair State Red Hawks. The Pioneers left a lot of people on base. You know, I believe it was 16 total on the game. Had a number of errors. Montclair State had 4 errors on the game compared to the Pioneers 2. Really just, 7-3 loss. But if they got it going in the hit column, they can just simply do that again. We take another quick look at here. Montclair State is 25-7. The William Patterson's 21-10. 7-3, like I said, guys. Only 1 extra base hit apiece. So Pioneers really hit well with them. Just got to get those runners in. Left way too many on.
Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, we lost yesterday. It's a must-win game today. You know, Montclair, they're sitting 2nd in the NJAC right now. We're sitting 4th. So you don't want them to get too far ahead, especially with this last week coming up. Yesterday was a struggle, as Jimmy said, just 1 extra base hit, 2 errors. Didn't capitalize on the 4 errors that Montclair had, so you got to go out there and win today.
Anthony?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on yesterday, but Ethan Gonzalez had a heck of a game for Montclair State, and he was just getting the Pioneers just hit the ball in the dirt constantly. I don't know what pitch it was, but it was working. He was getting the Pioneers to keep the ball on the ground. You got to lift the ball, though, against Montclair State today. Montclair State's good. They're 10-1 this season in the NJAC, but the Pioneers are good, too. You know, we can't discredit them. I think you need to come into the series and at least sweep, and that sets up a must-win game today.
Steve, your thoughts on this big matchup today?
Yeah, me and Anthony were there yesterday, and opportunities. This team continues to create opportunities, but like you saw in that graphic, 16 people left on base. If you're going to beat the top of the NJAC, Rowan, Montclair, Kane, you cannot leave 16 people on base.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, and we wish the best of luck to all the Pioneer teams playing this weekend and today. Well, while the Pioneer baseball team is getting to the heart of their season, the MLB season is starting right up. Anthony, we're going to throw it to you, throw a nice fastball over to you with the rest of the MLB.
Fun.
Oh, let's hope so.
It will be.
And we will come back with the MLB crew next, only here on WP Sports Desk.